Hey Eurovision fans, it's Tom coming to you from London. I'm back for another Eurovision analysis video. Tonight I'm going to be talking about what is happening with the UK Act for Eurovision 2023 and my theory on the UK's new secret system for picking who goes. So let's kiki. Okay, no timestamps because I'm going to go straight into it. In case you don't know, the UK has been really quiet about who's their act going to represent them in Liverpool this year. Most countries we've had like a teeny tiny little bit of news, but we've had nothing from the UK so far. All we know is that it's someone who will be associated with tap music. It doesn't even need to be one of the artists. It can be someone that a tap producer is working with or one of their songwriters. So it can be a very tenuous link. I'm going to tell you my theory about what could the UK might potentially be doing and why I think it's absolutely genius if that is what they're doing. So one of the big issues that the UK used to have was they weren't able to attract any of their big stars for a couple of reasons. Most of them would say, oh, we don't want to go because it's political, blah, blah, blah. But also, I think one of the main reasons was nobody wanted to go to a national final and possibly lose or get humiliated or lose to a worse song. With a lot of countries, that's a problem with the national finals, is the big acts don't want that humiliation. Now, some national finals don't have that problem. Places like Estonia, Sweden, they're all already able to get like pretty big stars to show up because they've built their national final into something with a good reputation. But the UK doesn't have that. Let's face it, their national final doesn't have a good reputation at all. It's usually a bunch of people that no one's really ever heard of before. If you're the UK delegation, how do you work around this? Well, this is my theory. Let's say, for example, they talk behind the scenes in secret to 4 or 5 different artists and say, are you interested? And they give them some pretty juicy terms. They say, look, release your song as you're probably going to anyway. We're going to look and see what the reaction is to that song amongst the general public and also Eurovision fans as well. Now, they probably say to them, don't release a music video because they want to save the music video for when the song is definitely picked and released. So that's why, for example, a lot of people are talking about Rina Sawayama's song Frankenstein, but the music video for that has already been released, so that's not going to happen. It's got to be a song that's released after September 1st that hasn't had a music video out. That actually does leave quite a few options. The benefit for the BBC is that they can put out these songs, see what happens, see if people react positively to them, what do people think, are they going down well, are Eurovision fans saying, oh, this would be a great song for Eurovision, etc. What's the reception, how's it streaming? The advantage for the artist is that they don't have to suffer the potential humiliation of putting a song forward to Eurovision and having it rejected or coming second or third place to someone who they think is below them because they never officially entered in the first place. It's all a plot, it's a secret. Again, this is all speculation, but I think this is potentially what is really happening. Now, the other thing, they could also put out a couple of Easter eggs to help guide your fans to potential songs. So we have quite a few sleuths on Twitter who are looking at who people are following and what people are commenting on, people wearing even costumes that look like the logo from Liverpool 2023. So putting out those little Easter eggs could guide someone, but it's not committing. It's not saying this person is definitely in the running. If there's 4 people and 3 of them aren't picked, no problem. They just go on with their career as before. Nobody knows that they were ever in the national final. Nobody knows that they were ever up for selection. It's all a secret. You might say, well, this is just a normal internal selection. What's the difference? The thing with an internal selection is you've already picked the song and the artist and then you put it out there and then there's not really anything you can do. If people say we don't like the song, we don't like the artist, you can do a revamp possibly if you have enough time, but really you're kind of stuck with the artist in the majority of cases. You can't just get rid of them. Whereas with this case, the UK are having their cake and eating it if this is what they're doing. They're putting out 4 songs, 4 artists, and they just pick the one that actually works the best. Another advantage of this system is that they can wait as late as possible to see what other songs are around. So if there's a year with no ballads, they can say, oh great, we can have a ballad. Or they might say there's no upbeat songs this year, or there's no rock songs. They can also wait and see what song is going to fit best with what's already missing. They don't have to release their song until I think it's the 2nd week of March. So they can just keep everything secret, observe what's going on around them, and then make a very educated decision about what song is going to work the best, what songs have the best reputation in the 1 or 2 months that's been released. It could have been released for 6 months because it might have been released on 1st of September. So look, this is just me speculating, but if this is the system, I think it's really smart. Now, it doesn't work if everybody does it, but if one person's doing it and nobody knows it's even going on and they're acting like super spies, it actually works out pretty well and it lets them make really good choices with a lot of useful information at their disposal and kind of real life information about like this will work. We already know people like it, as opposed to like, fingers crossed, I hope this internal selection doesn't bomb when we release it. So that's my theory. We'll talk about a couple of people. So the big name going out is Ria Sawayama. She has been egging it on. She's definitely not being, no. She hasn't said anything, but she's kind of encouraging it. She's getting a lot of free press from it. Honestly, I'd never heard of her before. I already know like 4 or 5 of her songs, so it is working with me at least. Well, I don't know how big the Eurofan community is, but another possible person is Freya Ridings. But yes, it's going to be, really when you see any tap artist or anyone that a tap producer has worked with, really the neck gets really big. And I think this year the artists are going to have a more positive outlook after seeing glass ceiling that Sam Ryder broke down by winning the jury, doing so well in the televote, showing that people don't hate the UK. Really, you just send a good song and you're going to do well. It's that correlation that we always knew existed. So I think they're going to have a lot more offers this year. Plus, with this possible secrecy solution that I'm suggesting, they can put forward their name and not be at risk of embarrassment or humiliation or risking their career. Anyway, I'm sure we'll find it soon. I think it would be quite interesting, actually. Our first song of the season was Ukraine. I would think it would be kind of poetic if the last released song of the year is the UK. They'd be like bookending the season. But yeah, I'm sure that we will get an announcement pretty soon. But at this point in time, we just have to wait and see what the BBC are coming up with. But if they are doing this scheme, thumbs up to them. I think it's incredibly clever if that's what I've come up with. But maybe they aren't as clever as I think, and I'm giving them too much credit. Alright, in any case, let me know what you think about my wacky theory about what the UK is doing this year. Please leave a comment in the comment section down below. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and thanks so much for watching. See you in another version of Ask Me very soon. Goodbye. Blah, 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 blah.